Hello guys, today I'll be reviewing an album that I really loved when it came out, and that album is of course The Hunting Party by Linkin Park. I remember when this album was coming out, and I think Guilty All the Same was the first single. I remember when that song came out, I was super pumped. When I heard that crunchy guitar towards the beginning of the song, I was super pumped, and I even really liked Rakim's verse, and I still really like his verse today. Now, I'm not super familiar with his work or anything, but I do like his verse though in that song. But yeah, The Hunting Party, really loved it when it came out. And today in this review, you'll know how I feel about the album nowadays. So let's go ahead and dive into this review. The album starts off with Keys to the Kingdom, which is maybe one of the more upbeat, one of the bit more, I guess you could say, aggressive tracks on the album, especially when you listen to the chorus with Chester really just screaming his head off. And I really like the upbeat slash catchy nature of the song. Definitely has a rock attitude to it, and it's definitely not a bad way to start off the album. But then the album moves on to the next song, All for Nothing, featuring Paige Hamilton of Helmet. If you're familiar with Helmet, let me know if Helmet is a band worth looking into, because I do like a few of their songs, like Unsung and Wilma's Rainbow, Street Crab, and a few others. But All for Nothing, another favorite of mine on the album, and I actually really like Paige Hamilton's voice in the song. I think him and Chester have great chemistry in the chorus, and then of course you have the verses where Mike takes over with the rapping, and I think he also sounds pretty dang good in the verses. But this song all around, it's hooky, catchy, and maybe not maybe, but it is one of my favorites on the album. But next we have the song Guilty All the Same. This was the first single, and I absolutely dig this song. A bit lengthy. I believe it's a hair under 6 minutes, but I've always really dug it. Again, I do really like Rakim's reverse in this song, and I also do really like the guitar. I think the guitar has a pretty nice presence in this song, and even some of the riffs have some nice crunch to them. And I also really like the chorus, maybe one of my favorite choruses on the album. But then you have the Summoning, which is an interlude that leads into War, which is a bit more on the heavier side, and a bit more upbeat, a bit more faster in tempo, and overall a pretty solid song. But then we move on to Wastelands, and this is maybe one of the more modern rock radio type of songs, with its simple structure and simple delivery, you could say. But this is another highlight on the album for me personally. It has a catchy, memorable chorus, and it's always been one of my favorites on the album ever since the first time I heard this album in full. But then we move on to the song Until It's Gone, and in this song you can really feel the emotion from Chester Bennington. And the melody, really the melody and Chester's voice, or his vocal performance in general in the song, just really pull you into the song, really grip you, keep you engaged in the song in general. And again, not a bad choice for a single too. I think I've always really dug this song. But then we're going to go ahead and move on to the song Rebellion, featuring Darren Malakian from System of a Down, another band that I really love, Toxicity being one of my favorite albums of all time. And I'll admit, I do wish that I wish there was maybe a bit more presence from Darren in the song, but either way, I do thought his contribution to the song was overall pretty solid. I thought he did a solid job, and overall a pretty good song, and not a song that I think to return to very often, but a song that I would consider returning to more for sure, because I do, of course, really like the guitar in the song, which is no surprise because you have Darren Malakian featured in the song. But next we have the song Mark the Graves, and this is a song that I've always found to be pretty underrated. I've always really dug this one, and maybe, I don't know if it's one of the highlights on the album, but I mean, you have the simple drum beat in the verses, but you also have the chorus, which I've always really dug, especially with the way Chester delivers the lyrics in the chorus especially. But next we have Drawbar featuring Tom Morello. This song has always disappointed me. I mean, Tom Morello, maybe one of my favorite guitar players. I love Rage Against the Machine, but I felt it didn't really sound like he was even there. He got more piano and atmospheric sounds more than anything, and this instrumental has always just disappointed me because this is one of my most anticipated songs on the album, I think, if I remember correctly, when the album was coming out. And I just remember being super disappointed, and it still disappoints me to this day. Because, I mean, if you're going to use Tom Morello, please make good use of him, please. But the song, again, really disappointing. But I wouldn't say that it's bad or unlistenable or anything. But then we have Final Masquerade, and this was another single, and never been one of my personal favorites on the album, but I do like it though. But then we have A Line in the Sand. Maybe one of the longest songs. I think, if I remember correctly, it's like 6.5 minutes long. But with this song, musically, I do like the guitar work. And now I will say it's maybe not one of the more memorable songs of the album. I mean, it's not really a song that has the strongest replay value, but either way, I still think it's a decent song, even if it doesn't have the greatest replay value, though. But overall, not a bad way to close off the album. But anyways, if I had to rate this album, I'd probably give it probably an 8 out of 10. I probably like Mints to Midnight a little bit more, but that's maybe because of probably nostalgia and just personal connection, you can maybe say. But either way, I still do have some memories with this album, and overall, pretty solid album in general from Linkin Park. And if you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the album. Do you love it? Do you hate it? How's it compared to the other albums for you personally? And all that good stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and like, subscribe. Have a nice day, and take care.